Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Injective. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Let's jump straight into the charts. Taking a look at Injective on the daily chart, you can see that the markets are rallying since our local bottom here, June 10th. Injective has already gone up 38% roughly, and very strong asset. I don't know when we're going to see a proper pullback on this thing, and by proper I mean drop back down to this green support block that we have been targeting for a while, between $4.81 down to $3.44. If we take a look at the daily RSI and compare that with the price action, we don't really see any divergences. So we can't really go and say we have a bullish or bearish divergence. That's why we could be expecting a move to the upside or to the downside. We do have a descending resistance trend line here. If I change the color of that trend line to burgundy, you can see that we had multiple back tests of this trend line. So the first one was back in April, then at the end of April as well. We had another one in June. We had another one here in June. So multiple retests. We're running into it one more time, so there's a good chance we're going to get sent back down again. So don't FOMO in, guys. I don't think we're going into the bull market. This is not the bull market pump. We still have a potential recession to go through by the end of the year. We still have at least two interest rate hikes. So 2024, the first or second quarter of 2024 is when we're going to be very bullish. Right now, we need to, find our bottom. Injective presumably has found its, because you can see the bottom that we printed back in, actually the bottom was all the way back in July 2022. So we printed the bottom almost a year ago, and I don't think we're going to be going down that low. We're not going to be retesting $1.78, but retesting $4.88 at least would be a very40% outcome, because we haven't really seen a very strong retracement since this high in April. A 40% retracement, 45%. Usually we need to see at least a 50% retracement. So I think we're going to be sent back down once again from this trend line. And if we are going to be looking at a potential move to the downside, what we can do is take a Fibonacci retracement from the swing high we printed in April down to the swing low that we printed in March. And you can see our golden ratio is sitting at $4.29. That is where I would be looking at entries, to be honest with you. That is the golden ratio. That is what is going to hold us as support once we start dumping, if that is of course going to happen. Now we might have a flash crash out of nowhere. We might have a black swan event, some sort of a major event going on in the world that's going to dump the markets, basically, kind of like what we saw in March 2020 back during the dump. But I don't think we were trading for Injective back then on Binance. So for me, it's not a good buying opportunity, because in my situation, my average buy-in price is $1.39 over here. Actually, I bought back in August, I think, or September, and I wrote all of this, and we had this massive move to the upside. I still haven't taken profits because I'm staking on the Kepler wallet, so I don't really have the need to take any profits. Because it does actually take 2 days for you to, or actually I think it takes a week or 2 weeks to unstake. So that's why I'm not going to be swing trading, and staking your tokens is much safer, because you're not going to start selling and hoping to buy lower, because at some point if you do that, the price might just continue pumping and you're going to be left down here with your cash. So that is a mistake you should avoid. Now, if we zoom in once again, you can see that the daily RSI, the daily 20 EMA and the 55 EMAs are potentially going to see another bullish cross. The last time we saw a bullish cross was back in January, and you can see the massive uptrend we've had since then. But with the way things are going right now, we could simply have a little retracement to this into this trend line. We could also retest the yellow trend line as resistance, because this was our previous support in May, and we lost it in June. As you lose the support, you come back to retest it as resistance, and then you come back down. That's what we're looking at here for the daily chart. If I switch over to the RSI, you can see that once again we landed in this support block that we have set up a long time ago, from the RSI of 36.08 down to 30. And every time you enter the support block, you have a massive move to the upside. First of all, we did that in November, then we did that in December last year, we did that in March a few months ago, and right now we're doing it again in June. So this is something that you want to be keeping an eye on. Once we end up down here one more time, if you don't have a position right now and you really want to get into Injective, I would be getting in at $5.50 down to $5. Probably that's a good area to start averaging in. Now, once again, for me, that is very expensive because I bought in at $1.40 roughly. So for me, that would still be like a 4x from my average buying position or price. So I don't want to do that. Once we dump below $4.80, then I'll start thinking about buying more tokens, because the market cap is pretty low at the moment. We could see Injective go up to $100 in the next bull market. So I don't think $4 or $3 is going to be that expensive. But yeah, let's see what happens, and let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we have two Fibonacci retracements set up. The first one is with the extension levels to the upside. So we actually have $117 as our bull market target, because we took the bear market low that we printed either in December or in July 2022. Both of them are very, very close to each other, and we took the swing high from April 2021. Now that gives us the 1.272 at $43, the 1.414 at $65, and the 1.618, which is our technical target after we break through the all-time high at $112-ish. Yeah, that's more accurate. Those are going to be our targets from where we are right now up into the 1.618. That's roughly a 15x. And from my average buying point, that is going to be approximately 8,000%. You can see the difference, right? If you manage to get into a project early, that is the potential profits you could have. Now, with the weekly chart, you can see that we landed on the 20 EMA, which I was expecting. I kept telling you about the 20 EMA, guys. This is a pretty important level for us to retest. And I think that we might get squeezed in between the 20 and the resistance trend line here, and we might dump even lower. So the 55 EMA is going to be your next immediate support down below. So if you really want to get into Injective, this is what you should be looking at, the 55 EMA on the weekly. If you want to enter $4.60, perfect entry. I can remove the large fib, and we can focus on this fib for now with the swing high in April down to the swing low in January. The golden ratio is sitting at $2.71. I don't know if we're going to be able to go down that low, but $3.44 is the 0.5. So that is a level that you could be targeting. I think it's possible for us to retrace down that low, because from that high in April down to the 0.5, we're looking at approximately 65% pullback. That is possible. We're not a high cap altcoin yet with Injective. So I think an impulsive move to the downside like that is very much possible. If we take a look at the weekly, you can see, or the weekly RSI, you can see that we almost landed at this support trend line that I was targeting. So this was basically the previous local high that we broke above in January. And this was also our support all the way back in October 2021, a pretty important level, and we almost retested it. So this was a very, very good entry, but it is possible we're going to be coming back down there one more time. We're breaking above the yellow resistance trend line, which was previously our support. So maybe we start holding this as support, but I don't think that's going to be the case, especially with a potential flash crash or one more pullback, because the retracement here is not done. I don't think we're done with dropping, at least for the crypto markets. The S&P 500 is pumping and the crypto markets are following right now, but with the current economic conditions, I don't think we're going to be going into a bull market. Taking a look at the stochastic, we still haven't bottomed. This is a potential zone that you could be targeting below the index of 20, which is where we were back in January this year. So we want to wait until we drop down there, and that's going to be a great entry. That is potentially what I'm going to be doing, because I have a lot of altcoins that I still want to buy into, and Injective is not at the top of my list because I already have a position, right? If I didn't buy in September, which thank God I did, I would have probably been eyeballing the 55 EMA, to be honest with you, for entries at $4.36. Now, I want to thank you all for watching this video. Let me know what are your long-term targets for Injective. Let me know what is your average buy-in for this project as well. Are you staking on the Kepler wallet or not? And I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.